Welcome to the 16th episode of Cautionary Tales from the Red Chair, brought to you by Jake.
And Sam.
So, how was your weekend this weekend, sir?
Fairly uneventful.
You didn't do anything other than the hockey game on Friday night?
I threw a couple beers back.
Yeah. Had a couple breweries?
Yeah. Other than that, it really wasn't that much. It was kind of a lay-low weekend.
Yeah. So what'd you think of the first game of the Lumberjacks season?
Fun to go to. They need to fucking hit somebody, though.
That is true. That was kind of the motif from listening to you at the game. Hit somebody!
Well, you gotta do it. That's part of the fucking game.
That is true. Even the owner was saying that, because we stood by him quite a bit, actually.
Yeah, unless he was just mimicking me, because I was the loudest person in the building.
That is true. That is true. But they kind of almost got into a fight. What did it end up, 4-2?
Yes, because it wasn't within reach quite a bit, but then they put it out at the end.
And they pooped, and they rolled.
Yep.
At least they didn't score an empty netter.
Old poop and roll.
Yeah.
So, other than that, no, not really much going on.
Nothing. Yeah, so whatever, just did the Lumberjacks game Friday, and then, well, Andrea and I actually did the grape stomp at the Carlos Creek Winery up in Alexandria. It was, even though it was pouring cats and dogs, I mean, it was wicked raining. Luckily, had pretty nice umbrellas, so it wasn't too terrible. But yeah, it was kind of miserable, and I was kind of a salty bastard when we were walking, got there, because I'm just sitting there like, really? I'm going to have to sit here in the fucking rain for a wine festival. I don't really even like wine. And this is miserable. I'm going to get all full of fucking mud and all this shit. I was just kind of a surly bastard. And then actually, once I, got in there, we competed in the grape stomp. We did not win. Which is surprising. With my size 14 wide foot. You think we would win, but I was going at it, like just stomping like a motherfucker. Just shaking the shit out of that thing. And the little contraption that you have to fill up fell over and spilled it out. We would have won if I wasn't so goddamn, heavy of foot.
You didn't cause such massive vibrations.
Yeah, I know. I mean, you got this, and the weirdest part is
you should have just started yelling at somebody, ain't nobody got a bracket!
And the weird part is all the other competitors were women. Like, every round we saw before that was women. So I was like, do they let guys compete in this even? So actually, Andrea went up to the organizers like, do you let guys compete? Like, actually do the grape stomping? Because it's all been women. And he's like, oh, yeah. All the big winners are usually the guys. And everything like that. And I was just like, oh. And then I got, like, beat by this, like, little tiny blonde girl. But I blame the container falling over. We should have had it won. Because there was no grapes basically left unsmashed within my bucket.
You should have just asked him for more grapes.
I should have. I really should have. Well,
no. This shit's rigged. I want this shit set back up.
Well, I mean, it's not like there's too many. The grand prize was a case of wine from the winery. So it's not like we were competing for high dollar objects.
Still $100.
Yeah. Oh, wine that I don't drink.
Yeah, we'll just shut her up for a while.
But
glug, glug.
Well, the best part is she's like, yeah, I kept trying to push the grapes and the stems out of the way of the hole, but it just kept pushing the juice too. And I'm like, you should have been putting the grapes and the goddamn stems through the hole. That's called displacement.
Yeah, that's what
shit I gotta squish.
You obviously do not know how this works.
Exactly.
New teammate as well.
No doubt.
Fucking bracket this shit down, set up some new grapes, and new teammate.
Exactly. So if I do it again next year, I'll have to remember to push the grapes inside of it. But she, being the stomper, again, it's kind of not really physically exerting because it probably lasted less than 5 minutes.
I would assume that it uses more gravity than anything else. So
yeah, and I felt bad for her because she's the one that with her arms in the bucket pushing it. We were done. She looks up at me. It looked like she just murdered somebody with a hammer. She just has like grape juice all over her face.
Well, she's the one that wanted to do it.
That's what I said. That shit cost $25
to compete.
Yeah.
Well, then they didn't lose any money on their prizes that they gave away anyway.
They had it going every 10 minutes from 8 in the morning till like 5 o'clock at night. Every 10 minutes you're getting $25 and there's like 8 spots for every round.
Wow.
I'm not good at math, but fuck ton of money. That's what they made, son. A fuck ton. A metric fuck ton.
I believe that's slightly bigger than a regular ton. Just enough for you to go, holy shit, that's more than a ton.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty fun. Actually, they did have
fuck ton.
They did actually have a wine that I did enjoy. It was apple blueberry wine.
Fruity.
Very. But it was alright. I would give it a scrumptious rating, which I did on Twitter. Follow us at Red Chair Tales. You just like I'm an asshole for that shameless plug.
I don't care. I just think it's funny that I didn't even know we had a Twitter account for the longest time.
You need to get on and start following, or at least get on the, put it on your phone so you can tweet from it as well.
I don't know how to do that.
I can show you.
You could probably do that.
I'll show you off, Mike.
Hopefully.
Because that would make for a very boring podcast.
I bet it would.
It'd be like,
first you have to get my phone.
Or we could just start a new podcast, Teaching Grandpa Technology. The 31-year-old grandpa.
I just don't embrace social media.
Yeah, there's not much to embrace. It's just a bunch of fucking assholes.
Dude, it was funny because somebody was talking to me about that today at work, where they instant messaged me asking me how many people I had on Facebook as my friends, and I was like, I don't know. So go ahead and check. So I logged on it, and I was like, I got 46 people. Most of them are family.
Yeah.
And she ends up laughing at me and going, what the fuck? Well, I have over 1,000. Well, then you just have a lot of imaginary friends. That's all that is.
It's like that old school, that cliche line. The more friends you have on Facebook means the less friends you have in real life.
That's what she even said. She goes, well, if you spent more time on Facebook, because she was asking me if I went to this person's site that from work, and she was like, have you ever seen his Facebook page? Because he always talks about work constantly.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know how to search for people on Facebook, and she's trying to fucking tell me through instant messaging. So finally, on one of my breaks, I was just pissed off enough to go on and try it. So I ended up going on there, and I was like, well, she sent me a friend, so I clicked on OK. I had like 16 people wanting to be my friends, and only like 2 of them I know.
Oh, really?
I think.
Well, they're just random people that pop up like, if you like this stuff, you'll probably enjoy this guy.
Well, it could be people that I used to know, but you know how I am with names.
Somebody that I used to know.
No, you know how I am with names. I got to have a reason to remember you if I'm going to remember your name.
Yeah.
And if I haven't talked to you in 10 years, chances are I do not have a reason to remember your name.
Yeah, and there's a pretty good reason you haven't talked to them.
Exactly. And that was kind of what I said to her, is she goes, if you were on there more, you'd know more people, and you'd have more friends. And I went, yes, but I'd rather spend the time that I would be on there with the people that I actually call friends.
Yeah, exactly.
I really don't want to go on there and spend 3 hours trolling for, hey, you want to be my friend?
Yeah, hang out with me.
I just don't understand that shit at all, especially when they start talking about, like, these actors and actresses have 12 million followers on their Twitter. Are you fucking kidding me? So some douchebag farts in Hollywood and everybody's like, oh, what's it smell like? I just don't understand why every single thought in the human skull needs to be classified and put down on, well, I was thinking about peanut butter and jelly, but I ended up going with the ham and Swiss.
That is legitimately like an update status.
I know, that's
ridiculous.
And that's the funny part, is I didn't know that people could write on my Facebook thing.
Really?
Yeah. I fucking log in today for like the first time in a year, and like I said, there's like 16 people. I might know some of them, who knows? I didn't really pay attention. I just clicked on friend to hers because she said if I did that I'd be able to see him, and I could just
who?
This other guy from work.
Oh, okay.
And then I'd just have to click on his name, and it would take me right to his page.
She wanted you to internet stalk him?
Well, she wanted me to see what he was writing on his page. Apparently, she follows all the fucking people at work, I guess. And
was he writing some blasphemous shit about you?
No, it wasn't. Let me fucking finish, asshole.
Come on, I'm trying to make it sensationalized.
And it wasn't anything about work. It had to do with work for more than not. But it wasn't anything about where we work. It's just a comment that he made on a page that she wanted me to read. And this was me trying to figure out how to fucking read a comment on somebody else's page. And then I was fucking amazed and just It's like, how is all this shit on here? Like, pictures that I took. How the fuck is this? Well, when I sent them to somebody else, they posted them onto Facebook, and it posted on my wall.
Oh, because they could tag you.
I guess. So I had no fucking clue all this shit, so I'm reading stuff from like a year ago going, oh, well, if I knew that back then, you know, I didn't know he was having a party that week.
See, maybe you should have been on Facebook.
No, I'm still not going to do it. It was just
Did you have any
ridiculous.
good photos, like compromising?
No.
Where you're doing the fucking, what am I trying to say, fruit basket or something?
No.
No, that's not fun.
No, they were like from the vacation that the family took and all that kind of stuff. Like,
okay.
were the first ones that I saw because that's the most recent event that happened. So some of them were stupid little comments and other ones were, pictures. And I was just going, how the fuck did somebody get that pic? I see what's going on here.
They know
Because it actually says, Leah, my sister, she fucking tagged me on one of my pictures, so it came right to my wall. I was amazed there for a while, though. I was going, how the fuck does Genius Box do this?
It just uploads any photo with my face on it. The NSA is on top of their game.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
How'd they know I was in the Badlands? I can't even get cell phone reception there.
Exactly.
But they do.
Yeah, I thought it was just funny. For a while there, I was Grandpa. I was looking at it going, oh,
How did this magic box?
this thing is amazing. And then I looked at it the second way and went, I don't know if I like this. I'm thinking about deleting the shit out of this.
Yeah. That's the funniest thing about the social media is it's just rife with people just spouting and doing just crazy random shit. Unfettered, unchecked.
Yeah.
Because like yesterday, I took the day off. And so I was just sitting on the couch. And then that shooting happened in Washington. And of course, I was just following like the Twitter feed. Oh my God, you should have seen like all the stuff that came up. It was like ABC. These were like official people, like news sources report, like tweeting this stuff where they're like, there's 3 shooters. 2 shooters are dead. Like CNN was even saying that. And then it's like, oh my God, there was another shooting across the river at this other Air Force base at the same time.
Yeah.
And just like all this stuff, and then it just filters down into like one crazy psycho.
Well,
is it because it was truly one crazy psycho, or is that just the narrative they always like to give us? Like
I have
John
no idea.
Wilkes Booth, your freaking, what am I trying to say? Who's the dude that shot Kennedy? Why can I not think of his name right now?
I don't know, but you got me off of it too.
Really?
John?
No, that was Lee Harvey Oswald.
Yep, Lee Harvey
Okay, good. So basically, how all of these, shootings always boil down to a lone gunman. Is that what truly happened, or is that the theory they're pitching to us? What do you think?
I
You think it was the lone gunman?
I think they're just doing it because nobody wants to be the last on the story. And
Well, that why they tweet all the erroneous bullshit that's unconfirmed and unchecked?
I think that's just stupid people.
Well, what about the news organizations doing
They
it
listen
themselves?
to stupid people because they're stupid people themselves.
That is true. The guy running the Twitter account for like the local NBC affiliate's probably looking at his Twitter feed, and some Joe Schmo says, "Oh my God, there's 3 shooters."
Yeah.
There's 3 fucking shooters.
It's better to say, "Oh, we're sorry, we got the story wrong," than be a reputable company anymore.
That is true. As long as you get the first, as long as you say the lie first.
Well, my dad used to say it the best, though, is he said, notice how every single product that you look at comes with a warranty. Back when he was a kid, he said nothing had a warranty because you could always write the company and say, your product is shit. And the company would actually stand behind their product saying, would you like us to refund your money or would you like another product?
Yeah.
But nowadays, you write to a company saying your product is shit, and they go, we're sorry you feel that way. Here's a $5 off coupon.
Yep, to buy it again.
Yeah.
And it was a car.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it comes down to it that companies don't really care to stand behind their product anymore because they look at it as a standpoint of every time somebody dies, there's 3 babies born. Who the fuck cares about having people come back to your company? You just want to get everybody there at least once.
Okay. I agree with you. And it's basically, when they have an actuary department that basically crunches the numbers on will a recall be more cost effective than settling lawsuits for the potential damages it's going to cost human lives.
So not only do you have somebody on staff year round crunching these numbers, so you're paying him as well.
Mm-hmm.
The thought that you actually have somebody on staff crunching those numbers in the first place is absolutely moronic in my view.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, what's that interview like? So,
it's basically an accountant.
Well, I'm just saying. So, do you have any problems with actually looking at stats and putting a face behind it? Well, not really.
They're just numbers to me, Bob.
Yeah, exactly. You're hired. And 5 years down the road, the dude's like, I can't get their head out of my head every time I close my eyes.
Especially because I wonder if I doubt it. I was wondering if the actuaries actually have to testify in front of the families.
They give a report.
Yeah, that is true.
And then some lawyer does it on their behalf because, well, I'm sorry, they couldn't be reached today. They were in the New England office, or,
Exactly. They're figuring out other products that will kill you and if they should tell you about it or not. So, don't worry. You're safe, America.
Just have him fucking fess up and be like, well, he would be here, but he's with the Koch brothers, so that's more important. I know 500 people have died here today, but compared to what they've killed?
Yeah, that is true. That is true. So what are your thoughts on that whole Navy shooting? We kind of glossed over it.
Ridiculous. I think it's another media portrayal of just, look at me, look at me.
Exactly. What I found really kind of sad is the whole bleeds it leads mentality was in full force yesterday, because behind the headline of the 4 people that were killed, there was also a headline where 1,200 people are missing in Colorado from the floods.
Yeah.
That's a little more of a death toll, but you can't outlaw rain. So, God damn it, that does not need to be on the front page.
Well, the funny part that I see about this is, once again, like I was saying before, it's just a media portrayal of, look over here at what we want you to see. Because, and I'm not sure how factual this is, but it is a blog that I frequent and a guy that I know of, so he usually does his homework. But he was saying that after that whole shooting has happened, up until this point, there's been 23 shootings in Los Angeles alone. Nobody cares about the 23 guys that died in South Central or anything like that.
No.
They would rather talk about the 14 that died in the Navy Yard. But they're never going to talk about...
14 didn't even die. They were just wounded.
Yes, excuse me. But they're never going to talk about the 23 that have actually been killed by guns in L.A.
Well, and that's just L.A.
Yeah.
That's not even including
Chicago, New York.
Or Washington, D.C. for that fucking matter. How many random gang-related gun crimes and murders were caused that same day?
Exactly.
But they weren't publicized. I found it really, really convenient that Sunday night, Barack Obama was on the news, trying to get his, gun control agenda passed once again. And then that next morning, there's a shooting.
Yeah. With
an ex-military guy once again on psychotropics.
But you're never going to do anything about it. I mean, this is maybe if you're trying to think of the like the conspiracy aspect of it. Look at it this way: 2 Colorado congressmen that were actually just recalled because of the fact that they tried to stiffen out on the gun control laws, and this is just astronomical to me. Is what they were trying to do is they were trying to limit clip size to 15 bullets. Those fucking assholes.
The fascists.
I know. And they were just saying...
But what if there's 20...
they were trying to have the whole thing of, well, we're just saying that we just want smaller clips as well as a little bit more in background checks to make sure you're not mentally unstable or anything like that.
Obviously.
And, oh my God, you fucking bleeding heart liberal sons of bitches. This is America, goddammit. My cock should own a gun if it wants to. None of this fucking 3-day waiting period. Just slinging around my cock, and I will walk it out the door.
Because he does most of my thinking anyway.
That's what I'm saying.
He should be armed.
I think that's absolutely insane to think that we should try to, protect who's getting these guns a little bit more.
That's the thing is. I think we have.
Here's the NRA talking about how these felons should have their rights back. No, they don't say anything about that. In fact, the NRA is the one that says, well, if you give a gun to all the other people, then the felons have nothing to do with it. Oh, are you fucking kidding me? They're going to take it away from you because you're an idiot and they've been around guns their entire life.
Exactly. Well, that's how that Alexis dude got these 2 handguns, is after he brought his shotgun in and blasted a couple cops. He had handguns, according to the unchecked, unverified sources in the media. But what to me I find more ridiculous is, do we need more gun control, or do we need prescription psychotropic drug control? Because it seems that every mass shooter has been on some sort of psychotropic inhibitor. So what's the problem? Is it the gun? Or is it we're giving these crazy people these medications that make them more nuts, and then we bombard them with all this stimulation? And I guess
both. I'm sorry to say it, but I'm under the inclusion here of, you should have information in that background check that they do every single time that they're supposed to have a legal sale of guns. Every time that they run that background check, it should have a national database of all crimes in all states, as well as any mental illness in all states. And there should be some form of classification that if you are mentally ill, or if you're unstable, where you've voluntarily or involuntarily checked yourself in someplace, depending on the issues you have, you should not own a fucking gun. I mean, if you're fucking walking into a place like Walmart, asking them where their guns are, and then going and grabbing a gun and saying, all right, do you have any prescription meds here? You should probably not be able to own that gun. But people do that shit all the time.
Well, it worked.
And then you got the NRA saying, don't tread on their rights. Are you kidding me? I don't want to be the dude that's like, yeah, he's got the rights while he's shooting a fucking hole in my chest.
But those are on the books. Those are laws already been there. It's just they're not being enforced to their ability because we're not funding them being enforced. Because the news, I just saw it on PBS when I was at the gym earlier tonight, where the guy lawfully purchased a gun in Virginia on Sunday.
Yeah.
They said, or something like during the weekend or some bullshit like that.
Yes, because
so
if you
went through the background check, which is messed up because his background check came back clean, but yet a simple Google search would bring up that he was actually being treated by the VA for PESD and was being drugged.
Because they don't have the national database.
Yeah, exactly. And then he was actually telling authorities he was hearing voices. That to me is...
Well, what else are you going to do? You got to shoot the voices.
So right there, I mean, I agree 100% with your point. It's just, I don't understand. We don't need more laws, per se.
No, we just need a law that says that you need to do this. If you don't, your fucking license for selling firearms is yanked.
Exactly.
You need to take the time to do a Seriously, that's almost exactly how the internet started, was because of fucking... warehouses and junkyards and shit like that going, well, we need to fucking keep our stock. So if we can have all of our stores connected to one area that says, this is how we keep our stock and this is how much we have at each store, holy shit, this is a good idea.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the continuity of government was basically...
So how hard is it to keep a national database like that? I'm guaranteeing you that every gun store has a computer.
You know ATF has that database already. But they're just not sharing it with the the arms dealers, because they want to be the official.
And that's why I'm saying that it should actually be public.
Yeah, well, maybe not public per se.
Well, not that I'm saying public as in anybody can use it.
Your medical history.
What I'm saying is that should be part of the national database for public use in private sector security, such as a national database of fucking loonies. You shouldn't buy a gun. In Iowa, didn't they just make it legal that you can have a concealed carry permit if you're blind?
I did not hear that, but those Iowegians wouldn't
I'm not
pass
kidding
them.
You. In Iowa, they actually just passed it because they said that it falls under the Americans with Disability Act.
No way!
If you're going to allow a sighted person to have a gun concealed, you have to allow a blind person.
Yeah, but that's... then it falls apart in the whole database of having mental illness people not able to get firearms because they would fall under the exact same classification.
I don't know. When I read that, I thought it came from the Onion or something like that. But no, it was actually a fucking real story about. Look that shit up if you think it's not, but it's a real fucking story.
Oh my God.
Now, blind Iowans can own a gun and conceal carry it.
Because I was just going to actually be devil's advocate on that and bring up the aspect of a lot of the American Medical Association and American Psychiatric Association basically make everything a goddamn mental disease nowadays.
Oh, yeah.
So pretty much what will happen is if we do have a database where only people that get checked out that aren't crazy, don't have these mental illnesses, can have guns, technically nobody would be able to have guns. Because they've gotten everything down to a goddamn disease or mental illness. Even if you question government, they have a mental illness for that. You question authority. There's something wrong with you.
Well, I call it an American illness because we do an awesome job of making the mundane something to cry about.
Yeah, exactly. Like restless leg syndrome.
Yeah, I'm going to ask you this one. If you ever go to a place like Ethiopia or India, in some of the rural parts, if you ever ask them if they've ever heard of bulimia or anorexia, they would look at you and go, whoa, 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 whoa. So you're telling me there's a disease where you eat so much that you get to actually eat so much that you can throw up. You have that much food just lying around that you could... Wow, I am going to try to wrap my head around this before I answer your question.
Exactly. Like, I can understand eating and gorging myself till I puke, but not eating and then being so guilty that I just ate all this that I must throw it up.
Yeah.
To maintain my physique.
I bet you they would instantly just go... Now I know why everybody hates America.
Exactly. And then, especially when you try to explain anorexia to them, they'd be like, that's fucking day-to-day life.
Yeah, exactly. So, no. You mean Monday through...
Yeah, Thursday at least.
Sunday?
Where I
ate 3 grubs in the last 2 days, all right?
Exactly.
Fucker.
I'm not one of them chicks out in Hollywood that's pushing around rice and curry, but making her friends think she's eating.
Yeah, I don't know. That's why I say there's a lot of Americanized diseases where you just look at them and go, it's not a fucking disease. You're just an idiot.
Yeah.
Nobody has a fucking mental illness that says, well, I've got to eat, and then I've got to throw up, and then I feel so bad for that I eat some more, and then I feel bad that I ate, so I throw up some more, and I keep them in jars in my closet so that my parents don't know about it.
Oh.
Like, seriously? That's a disease? No, you're just a stupid little fucking girl. Your parents should smack you in the face and say, what the fuck is wrong with you?
And that's the problem, is their parents aren't there to see all this. Because a true active parent would know that that's going on.
Yeah.
I mean, coming from two people that aren't fucking parents, we can sit on our high horse.
Well, I can honestly say how I saw my parents parenting me.
Yeah.
And they didn't sit on their hands. They were the kind of parents that actually were like, no. You're telling me what you learned in school today. God damn it. I paid for that day in school. You're telling me what you learned. I couldn't come home and just, have my dad go, so what'd you learn in school today? And I don't know.
Yeah.
No, you fucking know what you learned. You tell me.
Why don't you read my Facebook status?
Yeah, I mean... It was to that point. Well, then again, I was from one of those weird fucking parents where the parents actually said, get outside and play.
Yes, I'm sick of you being here.
You're not watching TV. You're not playing video games. Get the fuck out the door. If you're within my whistle range, I'll be okay with that.
Exactly.
Now their parents don't do that because they're scared of their kids getting hurt or
raped.
Yeah, exactly.
Or kidnapped. And is the world that much dangerous from when we were children, or is it just more publicized?
No, it's just more demonized than anything else because it always happened. I mean, rare occasions, it always happened. The difference is you didn't have instant coast-to-coast, a little boy got raped.
Yeah, exactly.
Or
fucking Amber Alerts going off.
Yeah,
everywhere.
That kind of shit I do appreciate.
Oh, no shit, I'm not saying that, but that just brings it more into the forefront of people knowing that it's taking place. As like when we were children, it was only if it took place in the 10 to 15 mile radius of you. Did you hear about it?
But I'm also under the impression, though, that they never talk about the kidnappings that come back and actually get a good result. They always talk about the kidnappings that come back with a dead kid.
Like Jacob Wetterling.
Yeah, I mean...
Did they ever find him?
No.
Oh.
But they always come back with that shit. They never come back with the heartwarming story, unless it's like a chick that's been tied up for 10 years and raped. Then they're always just like, oh, we gotta milk this story for all it's worth.
Didn't that one guy hang himself that did that?
Yeah, he did.
That's crazy.
Well, he got 3 life sentences for what he did.
You might as well hang yourself at that point.
But
nobody's going to care.
Yeah. But yeah, it just comes down to it. It's the media that portrays all this bullshit on why people are scared, on why and it's a lot easier to keep people in fear than to keep them happy.
Yeah, that is true, because that's 100% true. And that's, our whole economy seems to be fear-based.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Buy this car, that chick's not going to fuck you. Buy Proactive,
I will have 2.
Or that chick's not going to fuck you.
Yeah.
You know, you better, be socially acceptable or people are going to make fun of you. Don't buy into this bullshit. You got to wear this brand name or you will not be accepted. It's basically everything seems to be fear-based. So maybe Zach De La Rocha had it right when he said fear is your only god. No? You don't agree with that statement?
No, I don't agree with that statement.
I truly do, because fear seems to be the main reason people do everything. And even God is fear. Why is there the God? Because people will be punished if they do not behave on this plane of existence.
Fear is the essence that people know it isn't actually real. What is real is self-preservation.
Fear or God, which isn't real?
Fear. Well, both, but the only reason that God is real is because of fear.
That is true.
But
necessity.
Yeah, what I would say is fear isn't actually even real. It's the fight or flight response that's real. It's the self-preservation that's real. It all depends on your state of mind of what you are. Are you somebody that's going to fight for it, or are you somebody that's going to turn around and run and try to live another day?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the realness of it. Fear is just the thing that people call it because they want to, they want to put a face to it other than being a coward or being a hero. They want to put a face on it saying, well, it's very frightful to have that happen, so I froze up. No, it's the flight or fight response.
Or freeze.
Pretty much. You're still trying to make one or the other. You just can't decide one or the other.
Or you're just too scared that if you fight, you'll be punched in the face and it'll hurt. And you're afraid if you run, you're going to defecate so you can get away faster.
Exactly.
And so he doesn't eat you.
So you're still weighing the options while it comes to you.
Okay. I'll buy that theory.
I just think it's to the point of everybody's got to have a word that comforts the emotion that they're feeling.
Like love.
Exactly. It can't just be like, no, I feel good when I'm around you, and I'm not that great when I'm not around you, but it's still not like when you go away, I'm going, I can't breathe.
And I start cutting myself just to feel something.
I know. See, but people have to put a name to the emotion. They can't just be like, it's good, or I could do without it.
Yeah.
It all has to do with what they want to fucking talk about. Do they want to talk about being a fighter? Do they want to talk about running away? Or do they want to make something up that's going to actually give them the opportunity to say something like, well, it wasn't any of that. I was just, I was afraid that this might happen. Or I was afraid that it might get my daughter. Or, something like that.
Exactly. I'm more of a fan of the fight. Because the best part about the fight is even if you lose, nobody really cares as long as you were in the fight. You stood up for it. Nobody's going to remember, oh, yeah, remember that fight you got your ass whooped in, unless it was very, very embarrassing. Most of you would be like, oh, dude, they got into a fight one time. It was pretty badass because some motherfucker challenged my authority. You know what I mean? If you're not completely and utterly embarrassed, and then especially if you're not around assholes that are going to hold it over your head, it just basically becomes of, you did your thing. You stood up for what you thought was right. You came out on the short end, but at least you didn't shit yourself and run.
I couldn't imagine
Unless you shit yourself after you got punched in the face.
Got knocked out and shat yourself.
Hey, some people just got rough luck.
Yeah. Oh, that's disgusting.
Oh. So I actually did come up with something for fucked up Floridian news. Yeah, it happened. It was pretty good news, actually. Not as in good news. But
15 people die in a sinkhole. Wait, that's not good.
Oh, sorry. Side note.
Yeah.
The Wi-Fi thing just popped up on my phone showing me all the available Wi-Fis. One of them says, I have a small penis. No joke. Hilarious. Okay, but I digress. So, fuck the Floridian news. This happened, Monday of last week? So that would have been the 9th, roughly. September 9th. According to this, radical anti-Islamic preacher Terry Jones was arrested on felony charges on Wednesday, which was 9/11, for transporting a trailer filled with kerosene-soaked Qurans. And of course, he was arrested in Florida. I guess Jones was on his way to a September 11th event where he planned to burn 299... Sorry, not 299. He was... What do you... He making fucking sound effects. All right, I'm gonna start over just for that, you fucker. All right, so Jones was on his way to a September 11th event where he planned to burn 2,998 of the Muslim holy books, according to local news reports.
Lost two of them along the way.
Yeah, he is best known for stoking Muslim anger by publicly desecrating Qurans, sometimes with international consequences. According to Polk County Sheriff Grady Judd, he said his detectives had had many conversations with Terry Jones prior to that day. He was told that he was welcome in the county and to express his First Amendments. They were going to have no problem with that, but obviously if he violated the law, they were going to just go after him at the slightest thing just to shut him up. And so on September 11th, he arrived in Polk County, violated the law, and our detectives arrested him and booked him into the county jail. Just as he was informed that we would do, Judd said. I guess another dude, Marvin Wayne Sapp Jr., was also arrested. But I guess the reason he was planning, obviously, the 2,998
yes,
to signify everybody that was killed. But the best part is that 2,998, I'm not sure of the math 100%, but I believe that includes the 19 hijackers. So he's going to burn some Qurans in the name of the hijackers as well. So basically, they arrested his ass for unlawfully conveying fuel and carrying an open firearm. Because I guess he was reported being seen at a McDonald's with a gun just on his waist. So this stupid son of a bitch. Because didn't he do that? Something in October where he was claiming the end of the world? Was that the same guy back in 2011?
No, I don't think he was claiming that it was the end of the world. I'm not sure if it was. I don't believe it was, but I know that he was doing the fucking Quran burnings and shit back then, too.
Yeah, maybe that's what I was thinking of. But how effed up is that? I mean, you got to admire the man in his conviction to, actually...
I'll admire him just as much as I will the Phelps family.
I just wanted to stoke you just to see what shit go on. But that's some fucked up Floridian news, son!
Yes, it is.
2,998 Muslim holy books doused in kerosene. And he was driving them around in a fucking smoker grill, one of those ones that they take to festivals.
Weird.
That you can hook up on the back.
Mm-hmm.
That's hilarious. On September 11th, I don't know, I think that's just kind of funny. Just how stupid and ignorant people are. And I'm sorry, the South, they'll never rise again. They're too fucking stupid.
Oh, I don't know if you can necessarily say that, though, because stupidity sometimes beats brains. It depends on what the brawn is.
Yeah, well, isn't that the old saying? If you're going to be dumb, you got to be tough?
Yep.
Yeah, fucking crazy bastards. So did you hear about that molasses spill in Honolulu?
Ooh.
You didn't hear about that at all?
No, I did not.
It was a sticky situation.
Sounds delicious.
Sorry, that was a terrible pun. But I guess... it was actually in a port in Honolulu.
Oh, they spilled it in the ocean?
Yeah.
Huh.
And the worst part is they called in this diver.
No, it's salt and sugar water. I didn't know I would get that kind of response.
I don't know. For some reason, I thought of Men in Black. Sugar water. But according to this, they actually sent a diver. His name is Roger White, and he went in, and this is what he was quoted as saying when he came back out. He said, "It was shocking because the entire bottom is covered with dead fish. Small fish, crabs, mole crabs, eels, and etc. Every type of fish you don't usually see but now they're dead. Now they're just laying there. Every single thing is dead. We're talking in the hundreds, thousands. I didn't see one living thing underwater. That is badass.
And it's molasses? You're sure of this?
Yeah, it's according to this.
Or is it code name molasses?
The biological weapon they
threw a nerve agent in the ocean or something?
Yeah, exactly. Because I guess they're telling everybody to stay out of the water too, because it's not so much that it's harmful, but because of all the dead fish, it's going to attract all like these predators like barracudas and sharks and shit like that. So nobody's allowed to swim in there.
They're going to get a sweet tooth.
Yeah, but I guess the whole reason is why molasses can cause so much damage is, unlike oil, it doesn't float. It actually sinks to the bottom, like the deepest parts, and it actually absorbs oxygen.
Yeah.
So what's happening is the fish are actually suffocating.
Yeah.
Not so much as getting like covered in it.
Asphyxiation.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked up. And of course, since it's in a harbor, there's going to be less circulation, so it could possibly take like years for this to finally dissipate.
They gotta put a bubbler in there or something.
Fucking get some pancakes.
Flapjacks that shit
up. Just like I said, with the oil spill, get a lot of black guys from the 80s, dunk their heads in it. Shit'll be cleaned up post haste. We got low-tech solutions to these very bad problems, sir.
Oh my god. Just let your soul glow.
So what do you think?
That's all I can think about when you said that. Oh my god.
So that's why all the black people had, plastic wrap on their couch.
Yeah.
It wasn't to preserve the furniture. It was to keep the soul glow.
Well, it was to preserve
it from the soul
glow. Flapjacks for Hawaii. I'm pro flapjacks in Hawaii.
Yup.
Oh, I'm going to run on that.
And of course it was, a corporation's fault.
We're sorry.
That's exactly what they said. We're sorry for anybody that was affected. Or, that's marine life and harbor life was affected. You fucked up my harbor life.
Well...
Oh, I wonder if they have syrup crabs.
The fuck was the molasses ship doing there anyway?
I don't know. Well, don't they make molasses there because of all the sugar cane?
I don't know.
Is that maybe one of their giant exports?
I have no clue, man.
We should probably do some research.
Nah.
No. That's not what this podcast is about.
This is American ignorance right here.
Exactly.
Ignorance.
We talk off the cuff.
I'm going to say that they don't make any sugar cane in Hawaii.
Amen. All they have is just Hawaiians.
Coconuts, pigs, and Hawaiians.
Well, don't forget about wild chickens.
Wild chickens. Oh, yeah, that's right. Lots of cockfighting. And chickens.
Do they do a lot of cockfighting?
I have no idea. I would assume so if they have lots of wild chickens.
Yeah. I've never been to Hawaii.
Neither have I.
I'm not sure if I want to go.
It seems like it'd be hot.
It seems very... It seems like something I wouldn't want to do is hang out on the top of a volcano.
I didn't even think about it that way, but yeah, I wouldn't want to do that either. Plus, I'm not that cool with always having ocean everywhere.
Yeah.
I like...
Because it'd like be being on like a big ship.
Yeah, I like having...
Landlocked?
I like having fresh water. I'm not big at swimming in the oceans. I don't like the way that salt water tastes and feels. Like, you get out and you have that, like, soap scum feeling. Like, you're all dry now.
So you're not into the new craze for residential pools to be salt water instead of chlorine?
Well, if I had a residential pool, I would probably not have a salt water. But since I don't have any plans of having a residential pool, I'm really not that cool on either one.
Well, I actually prefer saltwater pool as opposed to chlorine pool.
Silly son of a bitch.
It's more green, eco-friendly, sir. Because chlorine was used to kill them goddamn Syrians when they made sarin gas. Don't get it twisted.
Don't mix the chlorine with other shit.
Well, Who knows what's
Don't
on?
go into your kitchen and be like, well, I don't have enough chlorine. Maybe this pine sol will work. You know, like...
That actually happened one time when I was working at that fast food place. The chicken place on Benton Drive. Yeah, where somebody fucking mixed this weird concoction and we, cleaning solutions, and we both were getting really, really lightheaded. And he's just like, I don't feel good, Jake. I'm like, let's go outside. Why? Because you fucked.
And then you get that splitting headache.
Yeah, I'm like, because you fucked something up bad and you're about to kill us, you stupid asshole. The fuck did you mix together?
Yeah. I remember that shit from working in a kitchen. It'll get you.
Oh, goddamn right. It's not as bad as those cleaning bricks to the eye.
Yeah, that'll hurt. That really does.
How did that happen again?
It was a char block, and I was cleaning the flat top, and how you do that is you have a little bit of heat to the flat top, so when you throw a little oil on there and use the char block, it makes like this charcoal paste, and that's what you scrub the flat top with.
Okay.
And I don't know who it was. Nobody told me it.
Well, nobody's going to cop up to it.
Yeah, somebody turned the flat top back on, like, to the normal temperature. And when I cleaned it, I put it at 150, not at the 425. So when I started cleaning it, I threw the char block over it, and it made that little paste. And when I was at the very back of the flat top, so, I'm stretched over a little bit, and I'm looking down, and I was like, why is that bubbling? And the bubble went bloop, and it threw some shit up into my eye. So I had 425-degree charcoal and oil in my eye.
And that's why you wear glasses today.
Yep. Oh, it felt like somebody was pushing a hot fucking needle through my eye. It hurt so bad.
Damn.
And that was where the fight or flight kicked in, because I'm not kidding you.
What did you do?
I thought I was drowning at first, because literally when it hit me, it hurt so bad that my brain just shut the fuck off for reasonable thinking or anything.
Yeah.
And the next thing that I know, I was literally going...
Shut up, you made that noise?
Yeah, I had my head under the fountain, and yeah, I was actually trying to breathe, and I was like, well, what the hell, I can't breathe, why is there all this water? I didn't even think about it. I was over there just flushing out my eye under the sink and fucking almost killing myself.
Science class paid off. I always wanted to use those eye washers.
Oh, no, it wasn't an eye wash statement.
Because they don't have those there.
No, they had one. That was in the back, though. I was on the line, so I used the sink that we washed our hands in.
Yeah, just the closest thing you had.
Yeah. So I threw the fucking water on and put my head under the sink, and that's why I was almost drowning, because I had my head sideways under the goddamn sink. But I didn't even think about it. It wasn't even something that registered in my brain to do. It's just, that's how it kind of like woke me back up, going, I can't breathe. And then I was like, oh my God, I'm under the sink. That's how hard, bad it hurt, is my brain kind of shut off for a second there, just going, nope, I'm going to go into coma until I can handle this shit again.
Yeah, so just your one eye is fucked up. Oh, because I remember you wanted to get a monocle. When it first happened, you were telling
that was awesome.
You're like going to all the eye places. So you guys sell monocles or what?
Well, the one chick,
not since the 1900s.
Well, the one chick was hilarious. She looks at me and goes, "A what?" And I went, "A monocle. The one eye." And she goes, "Huh?" And I went, "Mr. Peanut."
Monopoly Man. Did you actually go Mr. Peanut?
Yep, I did. I went like this
your
with
hand up your eye.
And she actually goes, "I don't think they make those."
What was she, like some high schooler?
She knew who Mr. Peanut was.
Oh, yeah. Who doesn't know who Mr. Peanut is?
I thought it was grand, though. Everybody that I asked about that, we could probably special order you one. I'm pretty sure insurance ain't going to pay for that shit.
Yeah, exactly. They'll be like, that's frivolous.
You
do not need a Mr. Peanut monocle.
Exactly. Well, the only one...
You gonna get a top hat?
The only one they come in is solid gold.
That is true. I don't even think robber barons wear monocles anymore. CEO of Goldman Sachs.
Why not?
He ain't rocking a monocle. That's just a little too ostentatious.
No, you have to have the monocle with a bow tie.
And the cane.
Yeah. You gotta have the cane.
And a top hat.
No.
Yeah.
I'd have a bowler's hat.
Would you have a tuxedo jacket with long tails?
Hells yeah.
And have two Negroes with white gloves behind you? Carrying your tails. Are you going that route?
You always take it just one step too far on that. Very good day, sir.
I don't mean that racist at all. That's historical fact.
It's historical. Yep, exactly. What? They come with the jacket.
Don't blame me. It's the times.
Jesus.
It was the times.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like when our forefathers said all men are created equal and then told their slave to get their jacket.
Yep.
It's the times. It's all about the relativity of it. Einstein said it best.
Well, they said all men are created equal. They didn't say shit about women.
Exactly. Well, they said a lot of shit about women.
Yeah,
Nothing about them being,
bitch, don't shut them out.
nothing about being fucking equal.
That's why they were all screwing their slaves. I can't stand that woman.
No shit. See, I don't understand why that isn't a part of our society. Like most Eastern
What,
Europe.
banging slaves?
Well, if you got them.
It's almost like if you got it smoking, you know.
Exactly. But the grander point I was going to make is like most European nations and even Far East, like Japan, it's just the wife just makes that common knowledge. Like, oh, you're going to have a business meeting and get a fucking blowy from a prostitute. Whatever. What's up with monogamy, man? I don't approve of this shit.
I just love your face on that one. Like, come on, meet me halfway.
I mean, am I the only one that finds it ridiculous that I can't get some strange on the side just because I'm in a relationship?
You know, I would say that if you're going to do that and there's absolutely no emotional connection whatsoever, all right.
It's a business transaction.
If you can get that and you get a wife that'll actually take you on that one, you might as well go ahead. But I'm saying the people that actually think they can like balance two families,
Oh, that's fucking
or
ridiculous.
multiple women like that.
Ooh.
Oh my god, I've seen Big Love.
Now, talk about gluttony for punishment.
Yeah, no doubt.
Those Mormons with their three families.
One of them is bad enough. I mean, the shit that I have to put up with her every now and then, I have to just calm myself down by going, emotion.
Yep.
That's all it is.
She's
It's
an
just emotion.
emotional being.
Has nothing to do with logic. Tomorrow she'll see the flaw.
But to kind of be devil's advocate and speak almost maybe in favor of polygamy, wouldn't it kind of be nice because when wife number one was being a cunt, you
No.
just go to wife number two?
No, because if they're around each other too much, they sink.
Well, no, that. Well, what you do is you gotta be rich. God damn it! You gotta be rich enough to have three separate houses
Yes, and they can still sink.
from just like being neighbors.
Well, they're not going to just be neighbors. They're all going to make like fucking
No.
meals together and all that
No,
shit.
I am making it three exclusive households.
You guys can only see each other for an hour and a half a day.
Exactly. Not even.
No talking on the phone.
Not even, because I'm gonna get them so they're jealous of each other.
Well, see, then you wouldn't be able to do that because in that religion, everybody's married to everybody.
So yeah, because they're sister wives.
Yep. So they actually, it's supposed to be that everybody's in heaven together.
Is that really heaven?
Not for me.
Not for me either.
Like I said, I see a couple of really good points about it, but then again, it's not for me. Just like being gay.
You see a couple.
I see a couple of really good points about it, but then again, you look at the rest of it and go, God damn it, that sucks. Because, I mean, how cool would that be to be gay and have a guy know exactly how much you like blowjobs? You would get blowjobs nonstop just because everybody's like, I know how much he likes blowjobs. How? Because I'm a guy too.
Exactly.
But the problem with that is you'd have to reciprocate. You'd have to give.
But that's where you set the expectations from Jump Street in the relationship.
I do not give.
Yep, I receive.
No catching.
Yep, and if you are willing to just give and not receive, I am the bear for you.
I believe my term is a power bottom.
No way, I don't want to get drilled in the ass. Fuck that noise. I want to do everything except for be gay.
Yeah.
I just want to stick my dick in random places.
No kissing or anything like that. We go out for beers, we come home shit-faced, I fuck you in the ass, then we talk like we're just friends again tomorrow. Don't even look each other in the eye.
Yep, and I don't. You
can make me flapjacks.
Oh my god!
Well, I had to bring it back.
And easy on the tuna flavored molasses this time. Jesus Christ!
Radiation and shit.
Oh yeah, no fucking shit.
I think we should do a question.
A hypothetical question before we end the show.
Straight.
All right. How about this classic hypothetical involving a train? Okay.
Fuck, this doesn't get me have to do math because I need a piece of paper.
Not at all.
Okay.
So basically, what we're looking at is a train is hurtling down the tracks towards a group of 5 workers. They have no knowledge of their impending doom, and all 5 will be killed. You can pull a lever to divert the train onto a different track where 1 worker is working. The worker will be killed, but the 5 other workers on the tracks will be saved. Do you pull the lever?
So let me get this straight. Do the 5 workers in the track
Yep, there's 5 on the track.
and 1 in the cart?
No, there's 3 tracks.
Okay.
You got 1 track where the train is heading currently to
Okay.
kill 5 people, or you could pull the lever and make it divert into another track and kill the other person. So I guess there'd only be 2 tracks. Never mind. So you got 2 tracks. Either you're going to kill 1 or 5. How many people do you want to kill today?
Whose fault was it?
Why the train was heading towards them?
Yeah.
That is not answered. But that's so you're just qualifying who deserves to die
Yeah.
and who doesn't. How if it was your fault that the train was heading towards the 5 people?
Well, then I'm going to go for 1 just so I only get 1 cause of manslaughter. If I go for the 5, I'm definitely going away for a while. I might only go for a couple of years if I kill just 1.
So what if it was just one of the 5 that did it? But all 5 are going to be killed.
Well, you followed him. Just saying.
You're brutal. So you basically, your thought is, whoever's responsible deserves to get killed, and if you were with them, you get it too.
Sorry.
I'll buy that.
You followed him. It goes down to anything. If you're hunting someplace in the fucking Serengeti or something, and you stumble across a lion, shit, it's your day. You know what I mean? You do something stupid, you deserve to die for it.
Sure.
Natural selection takes you, and if you're dumb enough to follow the dumb person, you should die too.
Your logic, I cannot argue it. All right, now imagine a similar situation.
Can't even imagine it.
Yep, fuck done. All right, come the revolution. No. All right, so a similar situation. You're at a train station, and again, the train is hurtling towards 5 workers. This time, there's a fat person standing on the platform next to you. Pushing this fat person in front of the train is the only way to stop it, and you're too skinny to do it yourself. And you know for certain that pushing this person in front of the train will bring the train to a complete stop. Killing the fat person by saving 5 workers, do you push him or her? Or are you just going to use the same logic?
No, in this way, I'm going to actually say the fat dude that's sitting there on the train station, he didn't do a damn thing except for wait for that goddamn train.
And be fat.
Yeah. I'm saying that the workers knew what they were getting their asses into. I mean, those guys, they took the job. They probably have an insurance policy on them for just such an occasion, and if they didn't, they should have thought about that.
So you wouldn't punish the fat man for a lifelong, fight with obesity?
Well, I'm going to look at it the same way as I look at anything in the news. I absolutely find it appalling when they do the whole, a tragedy struck today, a policeman was shot. How is that a tragedy? The dude was doing his job.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't become a chef thinking that everybody is going to like your food, just like you don't become a cop thinking everybody is going to like and obey you just because you have a badge on you. So when you get shot, it's the same thing as when a soldier gets shot. Yeah, it sucks, but I would think it's a lot different than like a school teacher gets shot.
Exactly. They're not really signed up for that.
That's what I'm saying. I think it's just amazing to me that people actually distinguished, well, they put their life on the line for us. Yes, and when they do that and lose, they get shot.
Yeah, they should.
Dumb bitch. Like, seriously, how is that any different? You give them all the praise and everything of being, oh, you're a policeman. Well, thank you for your service. I love that. But then when they get shot, it's, oh, I can't believe that happened.
It's such a tragedy.
Did he not carry a gun his entire fucking life? I'm sorry, when did we stop saying that if you live by the sword, you die by the sword type deal? I'm just going to say it this way. Chances are you don't get shot if you don't have a gun. I'm just putting it out that way. If there's no gun in sight, you don't get shot. If you're the only dude with a gun, chances are you're less likely to get shot.
Statistics prove you're right, because if you own a gun, you're more likely to die by a gun. That's just owning one.
It's very hard to shoot a gun if you don't have a gun.
Amen. Why do you think I'm still around?
That's what I'm just saying. It. I think it's funny when people do that kind of shit. Sorry, people die in their works, in their jobs, in whatever they do. People also die because they're dumb and they fall down the stairs, or they slip in the tub, or...
That reminds me of that sweet line, or that whole exchange in Clerks about the private contractors in the Death Star fixing up the Death Star in return. Where they're like, no, a contractor's personal politics plays a big part in the jobs they take. I was resurfacing Bambino. Babyface Gambino. Remember that? That's just exactly like that. Sorry. I just remember that part. It was awesome.
Well, it's the same logic for the most part.
No, it applies to
it. Once again, logic gets trumped out by popular emotion.
That is very, very true.
I don't know if we're going to be able to trump that one, because people might not like what I have to say next.
What do you have to say next?
Never you mind.
You know what I have to say next? Come the revolution!